What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Fudge Muppet. My name is Michael, I'll be your host today, and I'll be taking you through the latest Fallout build, the High Roller. As you've probably noticed, we've been super busy on Fudge Muppet lately, and we're running not only a Skyrim build and face guide, and a 2-part Fallout build, but also a Skyrim Let's Play and an Oblivion Let's Play. So to everyone who supports us in this time of hard work and dedication, we give our endless thanks to. Getting into the build, the High Roller will require the Honest Hearts DLC for the weapon being used. Growing up in Freeside, the High Roller wasn't always a High Roller. He lived with his mother and no father as a squatter. His mother would exploit tourists and travelers for money and had that look in her eyes that said, "I hate the world." She hated the travelers, she hated the wealthy who would walk by to the strip, she was jealous about their success, and so she detested their freedom. The High Roller, however, couldn't understand his mother. He was confused as a child, and as he grew old, he began to disapprove of her attitude. The sights of those better off than him only motivated him to work harder. He would never become comfortable in the horrible living conditions that his mother had lazily accepted as inescapable. He didn't approve of the way that low-life people would exploit others to get by, and he wasn't going to sit there and let himself become one of them. He left home as a young teenager, doing jobs to get by around New Vegas, and eventually, as he became a young adult, he landed another courier job in Primm. As he traversed the lands, he started to earn money, meet powerful businessmen, and make a life for himself. Eventually, he got enough funds to be with the men in suits he had always seen. The High Roller continued to be a courier until, of course, he was shot in the head by Benny. The High Roller is a bit of a sneering imperialist. He will respect people who work hard and have strong ambition, but he has no tolerance for the filth of society. Let's have a look at some start game attributes. So at the beginning, you're going to have 4 strength, 5 perception, 5 endurance, 8 charisma, 5 intelligence, 5 agility, and 8 luck. The tag skills you will pick shall be guns, speech, and barter, and as usual, these will be your major skills. The minor skills we have chosen for our level 30 character are lockpick, repair, and sneak. The High Roller is good at sweet talking, manipulating, and getting what he wants from officials and enemies. The traits are going to be skilled and good natured. Skills will give you minus 10% XP earned, however there are easily enough enemies to still reach the level cap, and in turn it gives you 5+ to all your skills. Good natured will give you -5 on all your combat skills, which isn't a worry because the only skill being affected is guns, and this has already received a +5 from skilled. In returns, this gives you +5 to barter, medicine, repair, speech, and science. This will let the High Roller start out with high speech and barter and be decently skilled at guns for a level 1 character. Together, this combination will allow for the drawbacks of good natured to be countered. It also fits in with the role-playing, as whilst the High Roller is a self-serving character, he's still good-natured to those he deems worthy of respect, and technically he means well. He doesn't support the likes of Caesar, the Great Khans, nor the Fiends. Looking at endgame gear for the level 30 High Roller, we're gonna be simply dressed in dirty pre-war business wear. Wearing a fedora hat is optional for all you 420 meme masters out there, however we like the look of the slick hair instead. Another option is also the golden shiny Pip-Boy, the Pimp-Boy 3 billion, but we thought it looked a tad bright. As you can see, the weapon is where the High Roller really gets his combat effectiveness from. You'll need the Honest Hearts DLC to get this gun, and it's called the 45 Auto Machine Gun Gunrunner Arsenal Edition. Getting the SMG drums and the compressor will also be a necessary investment. The gun fires pretty fast too, so the High Roller's lack of armor and health is balanced by the high damage per second he can deal. He will be using a lot of cover ducking and firing in his playstyle alongside a companion. The essential perks for the High Roller are Sneering Imperialist, Weapon Handling, Terrifying Presence, and Mysterious Stranger. Intense Training is a sort of half-essential perk which we strongly recommend. Sneering Imperialist will lead to a 15% damage increase when targeting tribals, raiders, fiends, great khans, and many more enemies the High Roller sees as unsophisticated scum. It will also give you a 1.25 chance to hit multiplier when targeting such individuals using VATS. If you want to know all the enemies this perk affects, you can just Google it, and it will also give you some extra speech options during the Honest Hearts DLC. Everyone knows what Intense Training does, so Weapon Handling is the next perk to touch on. Basically what it does is reduce the strength requirement for weapon use by 2. making the High Roller's strength of 4 no longer an issue with the submachine gun. The Terrifying Presence perk is then picked for role-playing purposes and gives you the option to send enemies running in terror or just become frightened throughout the game. There's over 15 speech options for it, and these will add to the experience of playing a character who is notorious for having no problem blowing the brains out of scummy raiders. The final essential perk is Mysterious Stranger. The Mysterious Stranger perk will give the High Roller a hidden companion who not only uses a fully loaded 44 Magnum, but will be wearing a fedora. The Mysterious Stranger symbolizes a bodyguard who is indebted to the High Roller and will always help when he learns that trouble is about. He will appear 10% of the time in VATS to deal 18,002 damage per shot to kill any enemy in the game. Now, after we've picked all the perks, the endgame stats with intense training are going to be 4 strength, 5 perception, 5 endurance, 10 charisma, 5 intelligence, 5 agility, and 10 luck. Remember again that 4 strength is counted with the weapon handling perk. When it comes to implants, they're not really necessary for the High Roller, however you can get them if you want. We'd recommend the damage threshold implant for extra protection. When it comes to questline choices, the High Roller will side with House in the main storyline and will also keep the NCR on his good side for as long as possible. This is done for the money and the power, and also for the greater good of destroying Caesar's Legion. The High Roller couldn't care less about the Great Khans. In fact, he isn't fond of them at all, and he will also of course dislike the Powder Gangers. The character will also want a high freeside reputation and help the Kings. Whilst not all the King's members are successful businessmen or of high social status, the High Roller admires their ideals, reputation, and success as a group. They also watched over him as a child, and for that he is grateful. Brotherhood of Steel will be disliked and considered a Dark Ages sort of closed-minded cult. The High Roller will remain impartial to the followers of the Apocalypse and all kinds of charitable people. The High Roller will admire Benny's goals, however will still kill him when given the chance. In terms of companions, the High Roller will be using either Lily or Boone. Boone makes sense for a more serious playthrough and will serve as a hired professional, however Lily will add a loopy element to the experience as a unique super mutant bouncer. The High Roller will let his companions do a lot of fighting while he pops up and down from cover with his blazing machine gun. Remember to check out part 2 for all the perks and skill allocation choices. And that sums up this week's Fallout build, the High Roller. Remember to subscribe if you liked the video, and also to comment your ideas below and give us a thumbs up to support our work. If you want to check out our Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook page, you can access them via the link in the description. My name is Michael, this is the High Roller, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new Skyrim build.